I will take something like section 2. Okay, this is like a main container. I will consider main container. Now to this section 2, I want to add some CSS. I want to add some CSS property to create this kind of container. It means I need to increase, I need to decrease the width a little bit. I need to increase the height. So simply I will select this container. I will go on the top. Okay, can we do one thing? Can we write all this CSS code inside css.css inside the CSS file? I will create one CSS file, and whatever CSS code I have here, I will just copy this entire code, only CSS code. I will remove from here and I will paste here, so that we will maintain our entire CSS code in a separate file. So that now our HTML file look little simple, little small and simple. If you add your CSS code in same HTML file, then your file will be very large and it looks like very complex. This file looks like very complex. So I'm just removing this CSS code. Now what I need to do, I need to link this CSS with my HTML. So to link our CSS file with HTML document, which tag we have to use? Did you guys remember the tag name? Did you guys remember the tag name to connect your CSS file with HTML document? Yes, nice. So we have to use link tag. Now link tag will take two attributes, right? One attribute is relation, and the value of this is predefined, that is style sheet. Okay, we have to give style sheet only for this attribute. And one more attribute is href. Now here inside this href, we have to add the path of our CSS file. Now HTML file and CSS file are in the same folder. They are present in the same folder. If they are present in the same folder, directly give the name of your file. Directly give the name of your file if they are present in the same folder. Okay, that's it. Now save it. Now still if I go back here and if I refresh, see, there is no change in the UI. There is no change in the UI. Okay, now let's write our CSS. Now let me just minimize all this. Now let's focus only on this part, section part. So to this section, I want to allocate some width, some height, and I want to allocate some margin value. Nothing but I want to allocate three properties: width, height, margin. So here I will select this section dot section 2. Okay, simply I will add width. Okay, maybe something like I will add 1200 pixel. Okay, I'm just adding some width here, maybe something like 1200 pixel. I will add height. Okay, height maybe something like 660 pixel. Okay, I'm just adding some random values. You can customize these values as per your requirement. You can just add the values. And I want to add margin property. Okay, before margin, let me show how it looks. Let me add here some background color, something like red. Now if I save it, as of now I have just added three properties: width, height, background. And if I go back to my browser, it looks something like this. Okay, this is our section 2. Now see, now section 2 here, I want some space here. I want some space from here. Okay, and this particular box I want to keep exactly in the center. Now this is the total width of our screen. Our div is starting here on the left, it is ending here. So I want to keep this div exactly in the center, exactly in the center. So how to keep the div exactly in the center? For that, we have to use margin. From top and bottom, I want 30 pixel and auto. If I say auto, my div will come exactly in the center of my screen. Now see, my div came exactly in the center of my screen. So I have equal space from left, I have equal space from right. Okay, and here we got 30 pixel space here. So if you want, you can give more. Maybe here I can add 50 pixel. Okay. Now here we got. Now let me remove this margin, background color property. I have removed this background color property. Now we have just created one container. Now inside this container, what we want to do, we want to display one h1. Here we want to display one h1. Okay. So we will go to that section 2. Here simply I will display one h1. And I will add here something like categories. Okay, here I want categories. I got categories. Now, can I increase the size? Can I increase the size? I want to increase the size. So what I will do for this h1, if I want, I can just add some styles. Okay. So how much size you want, that's completely your wish. So here I will go back. I will select dot section 2. In this, whatever h1 I have, to that h1, you increase the font size. Maybe something to 52 pixel. If I save it, if I go back here, now I got this size. Now size has been increased for that h1. Okay. Now we got this part. Now we want this part. So I will take first of all one container, one sub container I will take. This entire thing I will consider as one container. Okay. So let me just take screenshot so that you guys will understand in much more better way. So this entire thing I will consider as one container. Okay. So this entire thing I will consider as one container. So that container starts from here, it ends here somewhere. Okay, now this container I want to add here. I want to add here. Like this, I want to add the container. So to add container, what we can do? Again, we can take one more div after this h1. We can take one more div and we can just add here. I'm just adding some ID equals to something like content category. Something like content category. Now this content category, I want to make like a grid container. I want to convert this content category like a grid container so that I can create 4 columns and 3 rows. So that I can create 4 columns and 3 rows. So how to make this entire content category as a grid container? So for that, we have to select this hash content category. And simply we have to assign the property display grid. Okay, now let me just select this value, copy, and here you can paste it. Save it. Save it. Now inside this grid, I want to create how many columns? 4 equal columns. So can I go with grid hyphen template columns? Can I use repeat formula? Can I say I want to repeat 4 times and the size of each column should be 1 fr. In the same way, I can go with grid template rows. Here also I want to repeat 3 times and the size of each row should be 1 fr. Now how many columns I have created? 4 columns I have created. How many rows I have created? 3 rows I have created. Okay. So inside this, now here we are not able to see anything because we haven't added any content. Fine. Now inside each column, I want to add one div. So inside each column, I want to add one div. So how many columns, how many cells are created? How many cells? Cells means this part. This one part we are going to call as a cell. How many cells are created in this entire container? How many cells are created now? Nice. 12 cells, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in all these 12 cells, I want to add one div. I want to add one div. Nothing but here also I want to add one div, here also div, here also div. In all the 12 cells, I want to add the div. So what I can do inside this content category, I can simply select some class. I can give some class if I want. Okay, or else I can skip. So if I want, I can give some class here, something like container, or I will say sub container, content sub container, something I will give like this, content sub container. Okay, asterisk 12. So 12 divs will be created with this class. 12 divs are created with that class. Okay, now let's focus only on first div. Okay, let's focus only on this first div. Okay, now let's focus only on this part. Let's suppose here we have added one div. Okay, let's suppose we have added one div. Let's focus on this div. Now inside this div, what you want? Inside this div, what you want? See, this is one div. So inside this div, what you want? One image you want. Okay, and one container, like this container we want. So let's suppose this is our div. Okay, inside this, we want one image. We want one image here. And we want content. Content should come something like this. Here one content. And here one content. Something like this. So how to bring the image and content beside? So to bring image and content beside, what I would like to do, I will try to wrap this image in one div. I will try to wrap this both the content in one more div. Okay, and this container I will make like a flex container. I will make it like a flex container. If I make this as a flex container, then this both the divs are like flex items, and by default this both the divs will be one beside another. Then I will assign the width to this div as a 40%, and I will assign the width to this green color div as a 60%. So here 40% width and here 60% width. So that both the divs will come one beside another. Then inside this div, I will add image. Inside this div, I will add some content. Okay, so I will go. Now I will select this content sub container. Okay, here dot content sub container. This I need to make like a flex. I just need to make like a flex. That's it. And inside this content sub container, I have to take two more divs. Okay, div 1, div 2. Now to this div, I will assign style. And simply I will say width should be 30%, 40%. And to this div, I will assign style and I will say width should be 60%. Okay, let me just show you how it looks. So here I will add left. Here I will add something like right. Just for our understanding sake, I will add background color. Here I will say red. Here also I will add background color, something like green. Now go and save it. Now if I go back here to my UI, it looks something like this. It looks something like this. Is it clear up to here? Is it clear, guys, up to here? Yeah. And to this content category, or maybe to this content sub container, can we add height as 100%? Or instead of 100%, I will add 100 pixel. Not percent, I will add 100 pixel. So it will look like this. Okay, I have just added 100 pixel. Okay, we got this structure. Now what we need to do, inside this red color div, we have to add one image, right? So I will go back here. Inside this red color, nothing but left div, I need to add one image. So I will say image src equals to something. Width, I will say 100%. Height, I will say 100 pixel only. Now here I just need to add one image. So I will just copy this image only. Right click, copy image link. I will paste here. Okay, and now I can remove that background color red. I can remove this background color red. Now if I save it, I got here the image. Okay, now here what I want, here I want like this content. So to get like this content, can we take one paragraph in that? What we can do? Inside that, I want like that content. So what I need to do? I want like this content. So can I take one H4 and one paragraph? H4 and one paragraph. Okay, so here category name and some 100 products. Okay, here I'm just adding some dummy name, category name. You can just add any category name. And here 100 products. Now if I save it and if I remove this background color, it looks something like this. Category name and 100 colors. Okay, let me just add background color as well, just for your understanding sake. So it looks like this. Now I want this content. I want this content exactly in the center here. I want exactly center here. What I need to do for that? This content I want exactly in the center. Yes, nice. So here again, this one. So here only I will write, I will add inline CSS. Can I make display flex? Can I use a flex direction column? Can I say justify content space evenly? And can I use one more property, align item center? So what are the properties I have used? Display flex, flex direction column, justify content space evenly, align item center. Got it? Here we got it. Okay, for this content category, can we add margin here? Margin top 30 pixel. So we will get some space here. Okay, we got some space here. Maybe I can add more 50 pixel. I got something like this. 50 looks lot of gap. Maybe 30 is fine. Let's try 40. Maybe 35. Okay, fine. 35 is fine. And yeah. Okay. Now we got it right. Now what I need to do? What I need to do? I just need to repeat this, right? This content sub container. This code, I just need to repeat how many times? 12 times. So here I will paste. Okay. Then again, here also I will paste. Okay. Here also I will paste. 4 times I have pasted. Now if I save it, if I go back here, I got 4 times. Okay. If I paste one more time, 5 times. Same code I am pasting. I got here. Okay. Like this. Now let me just change the images so that it looks little better. Here I will just add something like female shopping images. Okay. Now you can just grab some images here. Right click, copy image link. You can just add in all the places now. Here I will just add image. I will go back here. I will select one image. Copy image link. Go back here, paste here. Okay, I'm just changing the images so that it looks little better. Displaying same images doesn't look that great. Copy image link. Again, go back here. Now let's see how it looks. If I go back to my UI, now see there are 4 different images. Now in the same way, I can just select one more image. Copy image link. I can just add here. So if I save it, I got something. Okay. Now like this, I just need to repeat it. So I can minimize. Now I can just paste all the code. Now see, same user interface we have to develop this many times. Now same task if you want to do with React, it will just take very less time to develop this kind of user interface in React or Angular. No need to write this much code also. Here we are writing a lot of code, guys. No need to write this much code also if you are going with React or Angular. Now see, I got all this. Now I just want some gap between them. I want gap between them. So I will just add that gap property. Here something like gap 30 pixel. Now see, I just got gap. Now I just need to change the images. I will just grab this copy image link and I will add here in all the places. Okay. Now we got here. Take one more image. Copy image link. Go back here. And paste here. Maybe here I need to paste. That's it. Okay. If I come back here, I got something like this. Yes, all the images here. See, here we got this categories. Okay. So if I go to that section 3, section 2, here we have added margin, right? Can I add 150 pixel? Here 150 looks so much gap. Maybe 80 pixel or 100 pixel. 5. Okay, now we are able to develop this kind of user interface. Now you can add more sections here. You can add more sections. Okay, here you can add more sections. Like if you want to get the idea, just visit any shopping website and just check their homepage, how they have designed. And according to that, you try to design your homepage. Try to add, like I have added 1 section, 2 section. Try to add more 2 sections, then try to design 1 footer part. Then one entire homepage will be created. One entire homepage will be created. Understood now this part, how to design this part? Is it clear, guys, for everyone? Okay, this is about your grid concept. Now, next property, what we have to learn is positions. There is something called positions in CSS. Now, anybody knows about the position property in CSS? Anybody aware about position property in CSS? What is this position property and what we can do with this position property? How many of you are aware about this position concept in CSS? Yeah, to make div stay desired position. Nice. Yes. Okay. So basically, using this position property, we can position any element at any position in our web page. Let's suppose this is my web page. Now, in this web page, let's suppose I am displaying one image. So by default, the image will come on the left side like this. By default, image will display on the left side. Now, I want to change the position of this image. Maybe I want to keep this image somewhere here, maybe somewhere here, maybe somewhere here, maybe somewhere here. Like this, I want to change the position of this element. If you want to change the position of your element, then you have to consider some reference point, right? For example, by default, if you are displaying your image here, now if you want to move this image, maybe towards right, maybe towards left, maybe towards bottom, maybe towards top. If you want to move this element, then you have to consider some reference point. From that reference point only you can move. Maybe this is the reference point. From here you want to move 100 pixel. Maybe from here you want to move 100 pixel, like this. So you have to consider something like a reference point. Now, what are the different reference point you can consider to move your element from its original position? This is where the concept of position comes into picture. Now, there are different types of positions. So there are totally 5 types of position. The first one is static, relative, absolute, sticky, and fixed. These are the 5 different position properties in CSS. By default, every element position is static. By default, every element position is static. Static means you cannot change. You cannot change the position of your element. You cannot change the position of your element from its original place. You cannot change the position of your element. So by default, every element is static. Static means if you make any element as a static, then you cannot change the position of their element. So if you want to change the position of this element, then you have to assign position property with one of this value. With one of this value. Maybe you have to make your element relative, maybe absolute, maybe sticky, maybe fixed. So you have to assign one of this position value. Then only you can move your element. Now to move your element, we have 4 properties. One is left, something called right, top, bottom. Top, bottom. So using these 4 properties, we can move our element from its original position. To move our element from its original position, we have to use these 4 properties. Apart from that, we have to assign position property with one of these 4 values. With one of these 4 values. If you assign static, then these properties will have no effect. If you assign your element position as a static, then these properties will have no effect. These properties will not work. When these properties will work, if you assign position property value as a relative or absolute or sticky or fixed. Okay, so let's try to understand. So to understand this, what I will do, I will create one container like this. Inside this container, I will place one div. Just to understand the concept, I will create one container and I will place one div here. Like this, the div will come. Okay, to this div, I will add some background color. I will add some background color. And let's see how we can move this div. So for that, I'm just closing all this, creating one new file, something called positions.html, creating the basic document. Now inside this body, I am taking one container. Inside that, one box. To this container, I will add some style like width. Width, I will assign something like 800 pixel. Height, I will assign something like 400 pixel. And width, let me reduce to 500. And let me add border. 3 pixels solid black. Okay. Now, if I just open this document in my browser, it looks like this. Okay, let me bring this this box in the center. So margin 30 pixel auto. Okay, we just created one container. Maybe I will increase the width. I will add 800 only. Okay, now inside this container, I will add one element. Let's suppose I am adding one div. So already I have added the div, right? Box. So to this box also, I will add some style. Width, I will say 100 pixel. Height, I will say 100 pixel. And I will add some background color. Maybe something like light coral. Now I got one div. Now see where my div is displaying. My div is displaying exactly on the top left. On the top left of this container. Now I want to move this div. So to move this div towards right, if you want to move this div towards right or from left, if you want to move, then we will assign a left property here. And how much you want to move, that value, that unit you have to give. So I'm saying move 300 pixel. Now if I add this property, there will be no effect on that element. This property will have no effect on this box element. Now, if I save and go back to my browser, see, there is no effect. Now, why there is no effect? Because by default, all your HTML elements are static. All your HTML elements are static. So if you want to move your element from its original position, then we have to assign position property. And the value of this position property should be any one of that 4 values. Any one of that 4 values. 4 values means it can be relative, absolute, sticky, or fixed. It can be anything. Okay, let's assign relative. Let's assign relative. Now, if I assign relative, now if I go back here, now see, the position of my element has been changed. Now, if I make 0, left 0 pixel, now it is like on its original position. Now, if I make 30 pixel, save, it will move 30 pixel. 50, it is moving 50 pixel. Here, space is not generated. Our element is moving. If you use margin, extra space will be generated. But here, space is not generated. Our element is moving. Now, if I use left, if I use property left, then it is moving from left. From left, it is moving. Or you can say it is moving towards right. Suppose if I say top, 100 pixel. If I go back here, now see, from top, it is moving towards bottom, or from top, it is moving 100 pixel. Now I can say left also. Left 300 pixel. Now see, from top 100 pixel and from left 300 pixel. Now my element is displayed here. Now I am able to change the position of my element. I'm able to change the position of my element. In the same way, if I don't give top left, if I give right 50 pixel. Now, can you guys guess your element will move towards which position? If I give right 50 pixel, now just check the output. See, so now what happens? Let's suppose this is your container. Okay, inside this you have your element. By default, your element is placing here, but you told right 30 pixel. So this is the reference point. So from here, it is moving 30 pixel. Right means it will move towards left. It means it will move away from right. If you say left, it will move towards right, away from left. If you say top, it will move away from top. It means it will move towards bottom. If you say bottom, now it will move like this. Okay. Now suppose instead of right, if I give bottom, if I say bottom 30 pixel, save it. Now see, from its original position, it is moving towards top. I think it is moving away from bottom. It should come here. From here, it is moving towards top. Okay. So here, what you need to understand is, you need to understand these 4 properties. Here, I am trying to make you understand these 4 properties. What is top? What is left? What is right? What is bottom? Top means it will move away from top. It means it will move towards bottom. Bottom means it will move away from bottom, means it will move towards top. Left means it will move away from left. It means it is moving towards right. Right means it will move away from right. It means it is moving towards left. Okay. So first understand these 4 properties. Then I will explain you what is the difference between relative, absolute, fixed, sticky. If you assign left, Okay, if you assign left, element will move towards right, or you can say element will move away from left. Is it clear? Is these 2 points are clear? Okay, same meaning, just we are saying in 2 different ways. Same meaning, but we are saying in 2 different ways. In the same way, right. If I say right, right means element will move towards left, or element will move away from right. Is it clear, guys? Okay, can I just copy? Now I'm just going little slow, guys. The reason, whenever you guys revise, right, that time you will not have any kind of confusion. And lot of people will get confusion with this topic. Lot of people will get confusion with this topic. Now you will understand why people will get confused with this topic. Now here I'm adding top. Top means element will move towards bottom. Element will move away from top. Now same thing I will use for bottom. Element will move towards top, or element will move away from bottom. Is it clear, guys? Did you guys understood all these properties, left, right, top, bottom? Okay. Now there is one term called flow of document. Flow of document. Flow of document means how you are adding your elements inside the document. Flow of document is nothing but how you are adding your elements inside the document. And the flow of your document by default will be top to bottom. By default, your element will place from top to bottom. In this sequence, they will place. And if we are placing in the same row, then by default, they will place from left to right. This is the flow of document. For example, if I take one document, if I take two divs, so first div will display here and second div will display in the next line. If you add one more div, by default, one more div will display here. If you add one more element, another element will display after this element. Now this sequence or this process we are going to call as a flow of document. So we can say all these 4 divs are displayed in this document as per flow of document. As per flow of document. Okay? Understood what is flow of document? Flow of document means according to your document flow, your element will be placed. And what is the default flow of document? Your elements will be placed from top to bottom. Like see, if I'm taking 4 divs, it started from top and moving towards bottom. If you are placing any inline elements, then they will place from left to right. For example, if I take one div or one container or one page, inside this, if I try to display image, so first image will be displayed here on the left. If you display one more image, the only direct image, that image will come in this same line. Now few elements will start in new line few elements will start in the same line. Any elements which are starting in the same line, those elements are called inline elements. Those elements are called inline elements. Elements which are starting in new line, those are called block elements. Block elements. Okay. So few elements are inline, few elements are block. Inline means they are coming in the same line. Block means elements will always come in the new line. They always display in the new line. So here divs are block level elements, images are inline elements. We can call them as an inline elements. Okay. Now let's come back here. Now what we understood up to now here, what we understood up to here, we understood there is one property called position. And to this position property, we can assign 5 different values. What are those 5 different values? Static, relative, absolute, sticky, fixed. Okay, we have position property. To this position property, we can assign this 5 different values. What is the purpose of this position property? Using this position property, we can change the position of our elements. And to change the position of our elements, we are going to take the help of 4 properties: left, right, top, bottom. Okay. And apart from that, we have understood what is the meaning of flow of document. Flow of document is nothing but it is just arrangement of our elements as per default flow of the document. And default flow of the document will be top to bottom, left to right. Top to bottom, left to right. Is it clear, guys, up to here? Understood whatever I have covered? Yeah. Now to change the position of our element, we have to take the help of these 4 properties. We have to take the help of these 4 properties. Apart from that, we have to take the help of this position property. And the value of this position property should be any one out of this 4. Any one out of this 4. Out of this 4. For example, let me show one real example. Did you guys visited Ashok IT website? Now here, if you observe here, there is one WhatsApp button, WhatsApp icon, and one messages. Are you able to see this part? On the bottom right in the green color. Now see, if I move my cursor, just check this particular position. That position of button will not change. I'm scrolling my website, but this particular button is not changing its position. And if you see this button, we have displayed exactly on the bottom right. On the bottom right. And from bottom also, we have little space from the right here and some space from the bottom. So how to fix our element here? How to fix our button here like this? How to fix this one also? This arrow also, if you see, if I move, that arrow is also not moving. How to fix like this elements? And if you observe this nav bar, observe this part, okay? This home services, observe this part. If I scroll, it is moving little bit. It is moving. When it reaches stop, again, we are getting that nav bar. Now, if I scroll, that nav bar will not go. Remaining content will go under that nav bar. It is going out under that nav bar. So how can we implement this kind of features? How can we implement this kind of features? So for this, we require this position only. We require this position. Okay. I hope you guys are understanding, right? What is position concept? Are you guys able to understand? Like, what is the purpose of this position concept? Okay. So still we have to now explore what is this relative, what is this absolute, what is this sticky, what is this fixed, how they are going to work, what are the effect of this property values. All this we have to discuss. So can we discuss this concept in tomorrow's session? So freshly we will discuss. Okay, if I discuss now, then there are a lot of chances that you guys might get confused, because already we have done this task, right? We have done this task. So this task is little complicated, because at a fresher level, this task is little complicated. For experienced people, it looks very easy, but the people who are very freshers, who are very new, for them it is little complicated. So they might have understood 60%, but once they have to go back home, they have to try it. They have to practice it. Then only they will understand 100%. And I am expecting everybody to design this page. I want everybody to design this page and just change the images here. Change the images, change the category name. Just add some category name. Fashion, something electronics, something like men's wearing, women's wearing. Okay, something mobile, laptops, like this. Just add some category names. Okay, and I have given one paint file, right? In that I have shown one, I have added one image. Try to design that image, that user interface, so that your entire home page will be designed. Okay, in your real time to design this entire home page, to design like this entire home page, you will have nearly 3 to 4 days of time. So they will assign nearly 3 to 4 days of time. Okay, let's consider they are assigning us 4 days. Let's assume they are assigning us 4 days. So how many hours? How many hours they are assigning to us? So every day we will work for 8 hours. So 8 into 4, like 32 hours. And out of this 32 hours, actually you will work only 10 hours. 10, or I can say 13 hours. If you are working 4 days, it means you are spending 32 hours. If you go to office, actually you will work only 13 hours. You will work only 13 hours. That is the enjoyment you will get if you join office. If you do work from home, you should work 32 hours, but you will end up working 52 hours. You will end up working 52 hours if you are doing work from home. And if you are doing work from office, you will end up working only 13 hours. Now, what will be your choice? Do you want work from home or you want work from office? Now, why this much less we will work in the office? Because after every 1 hour, you will take one break. And break will go for 20 minutes. And if you take break with your manager or lead, okay, if you take your break with your manager or lead, this will be like 1 hour 20 minutes. So that is the advantage we get if you take the break with your manager or lead. So always keep good relation with your manager and lead. Okay, this is the story of your software engineer. So the people who are working, they can relate. The people who are not working, they will relate after a few months. That's it. Okay, sometimes there will be some heavy work. Sometimes you will have very less deadlines. In that case, you have to sit entire day and you have to work. Maybe you have to sit entire night also. Suppose your code is going for live. If your code is going to production means it will be live. Users can access your application. Users can access your application or feature. If it is going production, then on that day, it will be very pressure day for us. It will be very pressure. You will have a lot of pressure on that day. Why? Because you should not get any kind of bug. Your code should not fall into any kind of errors. So it will be very tense today on that. Okay. So when I was working in my company, if my code is going on production and if I get any kind of error or bug, okay, error or bug, then I have to give the party to my entire team. And in my entire team, there used to be nearly 15 members. Now you can imagine if you give the pizza party to 15 members, how much money you will spend if you get error or bug. Okay. So this was my company story. Company to company, those things will vary. This was just like fun for in our company. So if we fall into error or bug, then we have to give party. If there are no error or bug, then they will give the party to us. So here I'm just showing you how in real time the stories will be. So a lot of people prefer work from office, right? Work from home. So my suggestion will be, if you are fresher, if you are completely fresher, then just go for work from office. Work for at least 1 year in the office, minimum 1 year. After 1 year, then you will come to know the story of your complete company. You know the story of your office. Then you can decide. I mean, you will get the ideas how to manage work from home. But if you are fresher, go for work from office. It will be too much fun in the office while working with your colleagues. And there will be so many things that you will learn. So many things you will learn from office, not from home.